How much do top income earners make? Globally, $75,000 salary puts you in the richest 5% in the world. In San Francisco, it barely covers rent. So what is rich in America and how do we get there? Hi everyone, I'm Diane, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. People think they know what rich looks like, but when I show them the actual numbers, their jaws drop. Today, we're diving deep into something that might completely change how you think about your financial goals. We're going to cover where America actually stands globally. Spoiler, we're doing better than you think. The real income numbers for the top 50%, 20%, 10%, 5%, and yes, the famous top 1%. And most importantly, I'm going to share actionable strategies and key mindset shifts for moving up these income brackets. So grab your coffee and let's get to it. Let's dive in. Let's zoom out for a second. In 2023, the median US household earned roughly $80,000, keeping America firmly in the top 20 wealthiest nation on a GDP per capita. Americans on average are quite wealthy by global standards. That means that if your family is earning this amount, you're already 80% ahead of the world. But income is only half the story. Today, the top 1% owns about 30% of everything, while the broad middle slice, the 40th to 60th percentile, controls just 8%. Translation: a big paycheck doesn't guarantee lasting wealth. Imagine two people. Alex earns $250,000. After taxes, his take-home is about $15,000 a month, yet a $6,500 mortgage, 2 leased cars, childcare, and lifestyle spend leave him cash flow negative. Add $60K in credit card balances and $200K in student loans, Alex's net worth sits around $150,000. On the other hand, Sam makes $100,000. His net pay is about $6,500 a month. He caps housing at $2,000, drives a paid-off car, and automatically invests in index funds. 5 years in, Sam holds $100K home equity, $220 in investments, $20K in cash, with a positive net worth and zero debt. That's why the metric that matters more is net worth. It's what you own minus what you owe. It tells you whether your income is buying freedom or just funding bigger bills. Now, if you want a clear way to track your progress towards this first major milestone, I've created a free net worth tracker in Notion. It's a simple template to help you see exactly where you stand and motivate you to keep you going. I'll link it in the description box below. To understand the landscape of top earners in the US, let's look closely at what it actually takes to reach the major income percentiles and who typically earns these amounts. The numbers can be surprising, and the variety of path is wider than most people expect. The top 50%. If your annual income is around $50,000 or more, you're in the top half of all US earners. This is a really diverse group, including folks in skilled trades, many technical fields, sales, teaching, law enforcement, and healthcare support roles. These are foundational jobs, often with benefits providing a degree of security. However, breaking into higher brackets from here usually means acquiring additional, more specialized skills or credentials. To reach the top quarter of earners, you're typically looking at around income starting around $95,000. This often means you're more specialized or in mid-level managerial roles. So think of experienced registered nurses, mid-level managers in areas like construction or manufacturing, or proven sales professionals. You also find many software developers and technical professionals here, especially if they're not in the absolute top percentile in big metro cities. College degree or certification is common in this bracket, while these roles don't always demand advanced degrees or extreme work hours, but rather a solid combination of skills, experience, and specialized training. This is where things get to be very interesting. To break into the top 10%, you're looking at some serious money, around $170,000 annually. Who's here? Physicians, senior software engineers, especially in tech hubs where stock options boost total compensation. You have experienced lawyers in here, engineers, top sales executives, and many corporate directors. And here's something also very important to think about. Location matters at this level. $100,000 in Austin, Texas gives you a completely different lifestyle than $170,000 in San Francisco, California. Next, we're talking some serious money here. The top 5% is dominated by high-level executives, successful business owners, and specialized professionals. You can think about corporate VPs, owners of thriving businesses, marketing agencies, consulting, medical practices, law firm partners, and specialists with their own practices. Here's the key difference. At this level, income often comes from multiple sources. It's not just salary anymore. It's salary plus business profits, plus investment returns, or real estate income. The famous 1%. Nationally, you need about $680,000 to $800,000, but in states like Connecticut, it's over $950,000. So what most people get wrong about the 1%, only 20% are purely salaried employers. Think Fortune 500 CEOs, elite surgeons. The other 80%, they're mostly entrepreneurs, business owners, or investors whose wealth comes from ownership and investment returns. We're talking about people who own businesses, investment bankers whose compensation is tied to their performance, hedge fund managers, and C-suite executives whose wealth is heavily tied to stock options and equity. At this level, the average household net worth is over $30 million. And it's not just about the paycheck, it's about ownership, equity, and making your money work for you. So how do we actually move up the income ladder? Now, before diving into these strategies, I'm genuinely interested in your journey and how I can help. I'm having more calls with folks in this community, and I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested, book a call in the link in the description box below. But for now, let me share what I've learned works for each level. So now you know where you stand. How do you actually move up? Let me break this down by each level because the strategy changes as you climb up. Understanding where you are in the income ladder is less about keeping score and more about spotting which levers could move the needle for your situation. The median US household now earns about $80,000 a year, while the typical full-time worker sees roughly $62K when you annualize recent weekly earnings. If that feels familiar, the levers that tend to move the needle are first, short cycle skills, basically increasing your skill sets in a very short amount of time. According to a 2025 LinkedIn report found that professionals doing 3 to 6 months in these types of certifications saw an average salary bump of close to 20 to 30%. That's a quick ROI. Second, though I'm not advising this immediately, is job moves. Data consistently shows job changers get bigger raises, often 15% or more, versus the 5% who stay. Every 2 to 3 years, especially earlier in your career, look for roles that build skills and pay. Smart side income. Could you freelance, consult, or teach your area of expertise? Even an extra $500 to $1,000 every month, which is very achievable, makes a huge difference. Target something that uses your existing skills. At six figures, success shifts from working longer hours to building more specialized expertise and strategic connections. Generalists tend to make good money. Specialists make great money. Think nurse practitioners, cloud architects, or senior cybersecurity analysts. What in-demand niche can you dominate in your field? Now, it's not just about what you know, but who knows you. Attend industry events, be active and professional on LinkedIn. Many top jobs are filled through networking, not just applications. So advanced degrees, this is where you might consider an MBA, a law degree, master's, or some specialized professional degree. But analyze the ROI on it. A top 20 MBA can double your salary, but cost a fortune. Can your employer help to pay? Is the debt worth the projected income? For doctors and lawyers, specialization here is key to hitting top brackets. This is also when professionals begin to diversify their income through investments, real estate, or consulting. The key is gradual expansion, adding new revenue streams as your expertise and capital grow naturally. To break into the top 5%, pushing past $250,000, it's usually not just about a bigger salary. Equity and ownership are king. RSUs, the restricted stock units, common in tech, and these can add massively to your compensation. And then there's also partnership stakes. In medicine, law, consulting, partners share in the profits. Last but not least, owning your own business. Even a successful side hustle that scales can push you there. Second is to master your taxes and investments. You must be tax efficient. Max out those 401ks, HSAs, if you have them. Your investment portfolio should be working hard for you, generating dividends and capital gains. Third is multiple income streams. Salary plus business profit plus investment returns plus real estate. Diversification is your friend. Most successful households at this tier have diversified revenue sources, typically blending salary, business profits, investments, passive income from potential real estate, or other diversification. Now, this diversification not only boosts income, but also builds long-term financial resilience, helping to maintain and grow wealth as they move closer to the top 1%. To move from the top 10% to the top 1% now requires at least $700,000 in annual income nationally, and as much as $955,000 in states like Connecticut. The strategy shifts from earning a high salary to building wealth through ownership and leverage. At this level, most top earners are not just employees. Many of them are not. They are business owners, law firm partners, or professionals who combine high salaries with profits, equity, and real estate to their practice or businesses. So for an example, in 2025, the average wage for the top 1% earner is about $700,000, while the threshold for a single earner is $400,000, and for a household, $500,000. Ownership and leverage. This is paramount. You're typically a business owner, a major equity holder, or investor leveraging capital. You leverage other people's time, employees, other people's money, capital, or technology to scale your income beyond what you can personally produce. Next is asset protection and estate planning. With significant wealth comes the need to protect it. Trusts, umbrella insurance, smart legal structures, those become essential. Many at this level might engage in philanthropy through donor-advised funds or private foundations, which can also be tax efficient. Essentially, you shift from earning a living to building and managing a wealth-generating enterprise. Look, wherever you are right now is fine. The goal isn't to judge yourself, it's to understand options and make strategic moves. Remember two key things. There isn't a perfect ladder. Sometimes you can make big jumps with some strategic moves. Second is to track both your income and your net worth. More money is meaningless if it leads to bigger bills. The path to real wealth isn't just about climbing the ladder, it's about building systems that generate money while you sleep. So whether that's through investments, businesses, real estate, or all the above, what matters most is that you start where you are and take the next logical step for your situation. So what's your next move? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which income percentile are you aiming for, and what specific steps will you take to get there? If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and give it a like. It helps the channel and reach others who need this information. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.